Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to make this pencil case. And I got mine pretty full, but mine are got my hooks, pens, all kinds of things in here. And we're going to have to sew the zipper on, obviously. But I got all kinds of stuff in here. It's pretty full, but I could probably squeeze some more. It does stretch because it's a knitted. It's a double knit. So let's get started. So find your white peg. You are going to need some sewing tails, so for both ends. So just keep that in mind when you put this in. So you're going to wrap around this way with the white needle. You're going to go behind the next one, in front of the next one, behind the next one, in front, all the way around. And when you come to the other side, you should be behind the needle before the white one because you started in front of it. Go back and forth. Your machine's not broken, it binds like that because we're going slow. So you should be behind this. Put your yarn into the housing and then pick what you want your tension to be. So we are going to do 40 rows. But after the first row, when I come back around, the first row only does every other pin. So I'm going to reset my counter and then we're going to start our 40 rows now. I've dropped a stitch, so I'm not sure how this yarn is going to fare in my machine. Not sure what that white stuff is coming off my machine. If you guys know, let me know. Never seen that before. The reason I'm not using my adapter right now is because I just wanted to see how this yarn was going to work. It's a red heart, so you never know. Alright, so I am just coming up to my 40th row and I am done. So you need to cut this. You got to remember it's got to be long enough for you to pick it off your machine, and we need enough to continue to sew with after. So let me turn this so you can see what I'm going to be doing. So I've watched other videos where they tell you to just spin this right around and start picking. Please don't do that because you risk dropping stitches when you do that. So I'm just going to turn it a couple of times because I can only pick off one at a time right now. So I just want to put my finger here to hold this just in case it might pop off. But I don't actually like to turn, so I don't have to hold the next stitch because it's being held now by that peg being up. So when you first start, pick off one at a time so that you don't risk losing anything. And I mean, that's even if you're an avid, because I mean, anything can happen. But once you get going, you can pick up more than one. You can certainly turn it. Oh, I'm stuck on my clamp. You can certainly turn it. Oh my gosh, I'm getting stuck on everything. There we go. So I can probably start picking off more. So I'm going to turn to expose at least 4. And I may not be able to pick off 4. Well, I got 3 anyway. Let's get these off. And I honestly don't even know why anybody would even teach you to turn it that many times. You can turn and pick at the same time, which is generally what I do, but I got a camera between my legs right now, so it's kind of hard. I'll see you at the craft table. So here I am. Move all my crap out of the way. All my scissors I might need. So, stretch your work out. That's from what I hear, it relaxes the stitches. So I had a couple of drop stitches. I had actually had just that. So what I did after I noticed this was happening is I tightened my tension and I didn't have it again. So sometimes tightening the tension helps, sometimes loosening it helps. You just gotta you'll get to know your yarn after a while. So after you've stretched everything out, you're gonna cinch up both sides. Just make sure things don't fold over like this and bunch up, so you can cinch it properly. So I'm just going to go across the cinch hole. I'm going to go through the loop I've made, and I'm going to pull back and forth so that pulls it right closed. Well, it's supposed to. That didn't quite work. So I do this anyway. I weave in and out around the cinch hole I just made, and I cinch it a second time. I do that with all my hats too, so it gives it a nice look. And if you have the problem, this yarn is really kind of bulky, that's why I was struggling in my machine with it. It's worsted, and it's just on the thicker side of worsted, but they still say it's a 4-weight. I mean, it says everything's a 4-weight. Whether it's thin or thicker. So once I've gone around, and I've actually cinched it this time, I'm going to put another knot to hold my second cinch. It doesn't matter whether this is done on the purl side or not. So that side's finished. Keep your end on this side. So we do the exact same thing with the other side. Looks like I don't know what's going on over here. Might have dropped a stitch over here. Let me see if I can't fix this problem. Something broke or something. I don't know what's going on right here. But I'm going to try to patch it up before I go any further. So I know that I can just tuck that down. So there's my drop stitches, and whatever just happened here, I'm not sure what happened there, but taken care of now. That's going to go inside my pencil case, so I'm just going to put a couple more knots into here just so that doesn't open. I don't know what's going on with this. I've never seen anything like that. And then I'm just going to move my yarn back out to the other side because I'm going to need it on this side after. So once you're done that, you're going to take your thing and you're going to make a hot dog bun. Just like this. So we're going to sew. You're going to need a sewing needle. I have a whole bag of zippers. Get your zipper and your thread. Now I'm not a sewer, so however you want to sew this on, you may even have a sewing machine. So however you want to sew it on. So we're going to sew this on. I'm going to open it to start, just because it's easier for me. So I obviously just made a knot. And just because I don't trust my own sewing, I'm going to make another knot. Alright. So if you're not sure how to sew a zipper on, you just sew all along the ridge. Keep your zipper up over the edge though. And I, for my other one, just went in and out like a machine would do. So when I come back, I start behind my piece. I think my grandkids would love this for their crayons and their markers and stuff. So you can't really see it on the other side. You can see that something's there, but you can't really see this. So I'm going to have to get more thread. But I am at the end. I'm going to make a knot. And then I'm just going to weave through the first layer. Actually, I'm not even weaving through the first layer. I'm actually splitting the stitches. But technically it's the first layer, I suppose. But I'm splitting the stitches just because I don't want nothing to happen. I'll just cut it off there. This I can just snip off because I made a knot with it. So now we close this and we sew on to the other side. So the same thing applies with how you start. So don't worry if this overhangs a bit. We're going to be sewing all this end part up. So I'm going to make a knot. Splitting the stitches just so it has something to hold on to. So there we have that part done. Once you've got this part done, now this will all change shape once it gets worked in, like once you start putting stuff into it. Eventually all that works its way out. So don't worry about this looking like this now. So this doesn't go all the way to the end, as you can see. But that won't be a problem either. I lost my other needle. There it is, under my scissors. So, let's get this threaded. So, we don't really need to see this part, but we don't want it too tight that we can't get to the zipper. So I just came up a couple of times. I just picked a row and a row, and I just grabbed a bar. I'm not grabbing the stitch, I'm actually grabbing the bar. So basically a mattress stitch is what I'm going to do. So I'm grabbing a bar over here. I'm only grabbing one now. Like a mattress stitch is a little different, but you can pull that. I think I'll grab one more. The only reason I was grabbing one at a time is because I don't know what I needed. I think that's fine because I still have enough space if I needed to get my finger in there for whatever reason. So once you're done that, which I know you don't need this much, but just in case things were different, I'm just going to come across. I'm going to make a knot. So when I pull, I'm going to pull backwards and forwards, and that tightens that knot right down. And then I'm just going to weave into the first layer, splitting stitches along the way if I can, just because it will be a better hold. So that's it for that side. That side's done, so that's what it looks like. And then we'll do this side. Pull it closed, so that's what that end's gonna look like. And then again, I'm gonna come across. I'm gonna make a knot by going through that loop I created. Oh, what's going on here? Or my camera shut off. So pull back and forth, tighten that knot right down. So you can see a little bit of my drop stitch part, but not a big deal. And again, I'm just going to weave into the first layer, splitting stitches if I can, if I manage to. You don't have to go back and forth like I do. I guess I'm just used to that from crochet weaving. Anyway, that is it. So now if you wanted to there's your pencil case, or whatever you want to use it for. I use mine for hooks and stuff. So if you wanted, you could use your leftover yarn to do a little handle, a little carry handle. I'll get my number 4, and I'm just going to use this leftover piece just to show you. I didn't plan this for the video, but all of a sudden it just dawned on me that, hey, should put a handle on this. So if you do know how to crochet, you can get out your hook. I would put it on the end where the zipper's here. I would put it on this end. So all you got to do is find a spot to attach, which can be any spot. And then we can chain however big you want it. That's 15, so that's enough for a finger loop, or you can go more than that. Here's 20. So it all depends on you how much of a little handle you want on this thing. I think chaining 20 is fine. So I'm going to come down, not quite in the same area, but in the same area. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to attach. Oh gosh. I just will let that go. So I'm going to reattach. I'm going to go again. I'm going to pull through. So that's just called fastening off. So there's your little handle. And then the part that I just fastened off with, actually, in this part, let's tie these two in a knot just so nothing escapes. Tie that in a tight double knot just so nothing pops open. And then you can just hide your ends into in between the layers. There, now you got a little handle to hold, to carry around, or your grandkids can carry around. And that's just with the leftover yarn. So, easy peasy. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you in the next video.